Hey, you know what's possible? Sometimes it's possible to be, and I'm speaking from experience here, it's possible to be on autopilot. And I'm not just talking about 5, 10 minutes a day. It's possible to basically be like you're sleepwalking through life. I'm in Kilimanjaro. I'm going to be bringing this topic to you. I'll let you know if somebody else is going to be bringing it to you. That's the reason why I got to tell you my name. I'm Ayin. I'll be bringing it to you. See, I had to break that all up because I can get in the autopilot on the video. Just with doing my intro and outro. Not doing the video itself because I love doing these videos. This is one of the few moments that actually come alive. Because I know my energy is not wasted here. Back to this video. What made me think about this is sometimes you can just have such a long laundry list of things that you have to do in life. Things that you have to do daily. And I'm not gonna even go down the path any further with it. I think you already got what I'm getting at. You just get on autopilot. Even down to the interactions that you're having with people. Sometimes I feel like I'm a zombie. Must go here, been asked to attend this, must take phone call, person is calling, must do. I can feel like a zombie. One of the reasons why I'm bringing up this topic, let me stop on the phone call for a second and to show you what I'm talking about autopilot. I realize that a lot of times, when you call people, I think my cousin said it best. And actually, I heard a comedian say this as well, that it's up to the person whom you're calling to decide whether they want to take your call or not. Sometimes people are busy. Sometimes they just don't feel like talking right now. It can be a variety of reasons on why they might not take your call right now. Right? Now I'm going to take it to me. And how I can be a little bit out left field with this here. More than likely, I got to really be in a spot where I can't take your call. I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to talk. Even if it's at an opportune time. One of the reasons that it kind of brought me to that, and I'm trying to think how I can say this without it getting too grim, especially for YouTube or sending up any type of flags. I'll just say this for a person's mental well-being. It was brought to my attention one time. I called and I was speaking to somebody's mother, and they were telling me about, I'll just say, some not so good thoughts that a relative was having. And I thought to myself, I'm like, man, they didn't know that I knew what was told to me. And it was really sad. So one of the things that I found is every time this person that called, I do my due diligence to answer the call, because I'm just like, man, you don't know when they could really be going through something. And maybe, and this is how life works. Maybe they're going through something, and even though they're calling, they're talking to you lightly up on something, it could be a whole lot of background mess that's going on in their head, and you could be saving them up for something, right? And one time I remember I was doing some homework for college, and the person called, and they were like, yeah, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm up here working on this paper. And they were like, well, how long are you going to be working on this mess? They were talking a whole lot more vile than what I'm saying. And I'm thinking in my head the whole time when I took the phone call, I'm like, I took this for this? For them to scrutinize and to throw jabs, I took the phone call for this? Not only that, fast forward past that person, past this situation, I think about other times where I've called and done just like what I said earlier in this video. You've reached out, not because you need anything, because you're checking on a person. And it's like they put you on the back burner and they're going. And I would continue to do just like I stated up off in this video, not just with this individual where I was talking about took the call for fear that, you know, they may be going through some sort of mental crisis at the time, but I kind of devoted my attention to everybody like that. And it was like I was moving on autopilot and I didn't have a off switch even when they were calling me at inopportune times. I'm like, there's plenty of times that I call and they're not available. Amongst other things, attending events, doing other, I just felt like I was on autopilot. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I was operating so much so to a point to where not only was I just drained and exhausted mentally and physically, I was just tired and I'm just still gotta do because of XYZ. And when it came to doing things up for me, I was too tired to even do the things that I wanted to do. I'm like, I'm even on autopilot for this. And it's not good. And the reason why I say that it's not good, and the reason why it's taken all this time for me to make this video up on this now, is because sometimes you can go to a mind state where you're not at your best. And when you're not at your best and you're really operating on E, on your energy levels and your tank, to where when things are brought to you, or they don't even have to be brought to you, you can just really have some bad days in there. And the reason why you're having some bad days is because you're drained. You've operated on autopilot. Something is like, wait a minute, let's pause that. When you think about autopilot in a plane or whether it's a vehicle with cruise control, think about it. Those are only meant to be used in very controlled scenarios, not really for any extended amount of time. Think about cruise control, even if you're using it on the interstate. From the distance that I go from here to the next small city when I'm doing shopping and what have you, even though it's a small distance, I can't use cruise control on that entire distance because I'm going to come up on people that's moving slower than me. I'm going to come up on people that I'm going to be taking the cruise control on and off. That's what I'm going to say for this video. So I'm going to be turning the cruise control on and off. So I can't rely on that for any extent of time. If I did, it could prove to be to my detriment. Right? So it's the same thing when I'm thinking about autopilot. And the reason why it's taking me so long to come to visit this topic on this video and really take a look at it is because I had to analyze some things that happened up with myself. When I was drained all the way to E and operating more so out of habit, opposed to kind of dialing back and saying, hey man, take a break. Even though I've said in plenty of other videos, I'm not the most active person. But still, I still have my limits, even in pulling back and knowing when to say no, on not taking those phone calls, and just not doing a bunch of other things that I do. What I found was I'm just like, man, I feel like I'm in a crummy, gripey, complaining state, and it's because I haven't replenished my fuel. My energy, because I'm still going and going and going, and I'm doing and doing and doing. And it sets you up to be more prone to lash out at people. Or if you're not lashing out to people, from what I found, it just seems like it kind of skews your perspective on things. It makes you unappreciative for some of the things because when you're tired, I don't have to tell any of you out there watching this video, you know when you're tired, it can make doing anything miserable. And when I sat back and I thought on it, I'm like, how did I even get to this point? How did I not, crash and burn from before? And I'm like, oh, because I'm on autopilot. I got so many things that I need to do, and I'm doing out of habit that on my little small parts that I should be doing respite on, I'm like something to plug in there because either somebody will come into the circle or they'll do or what have you, and then it's off to the races again. And now it's causing me to sleepwalk through my other duties. And I'm tired. It's making me cranky. That's why I say autopilot is not good. Just like I used in that example of being on the interstate with cruise control, you can't run your life like that. You got to be in control. And you can't operate and jump through the hoops of others at every beck and call. What do you need? When do you need some time off? That's the point of this video. In the video, stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I mean, you have a good one.